splashy. Video of Jungkook and Jimin at Swiss lake leaked. What are they doing there? The sun was still shyly touching the surface of Lake Briance when two silhouettes walked side by side on the edge of the wooden pier. The sky is clear. The lake water reflects a silvery blue color. And among the tranquility of the Swiss nature, the cameras secretly recorded something that made the army around the world uproar. In a 28-second video that leaked and immediately went viral on social media. Two figures who are strongly suspected are Jungkook and Jimin seen sitting next to each other at the end of the lake pier. No bodyguards, no crew, no crowds. Just them, and a small guitar placed beside Jungkook's feet. The video was first uploaded by a French tourist who claimed not to be aware of who he was filming until then netizens recognized the undeniable details. Jimin in a gray hoodie that he once wore during a solo concert in Paris, and Jungkook with a tattoo on his right hand that is clearly visible when he picks up something from a small backpack. In the video, Jimin appears to be looking down, as if he is reading notes or lyrics, while Jungkook glanced at the lake several times before finally touching his fingers on the guitar strings. But what makes this video thrill the army is not just who they are, but what happens in that silence. A few seconds before the end of the video, Jimin's voice was quiet, almost like a murmur. If this song is not finished, we can still sing the first verse until the end, right? Then followed by a small smile from Jungkook, who didn't say anything, just nodded and played a quiet note. And right then, millions of fans watching from behind the scenes felt something inexplicable. Not about music, not about projects, but about two people trying to reconnect something that was once almost lost. HYB has not yet given an official statement about their presence in Switzerland. However, some fan sites reported that Jimin and Jungkook had not been seen in Korea in recent days. Their passports were reportedly used for private travel, without staff, without publications. A source said they just want space, not for work, but to heal. Briance Lake itself is not an ordinary tourist spot for BTS. A few years ago, it was the shooting location for their Bon Voyage photo shoot. In the episode, Jimin had said, "I want to come back to this place someday, if I lose my way." Now, years later, it's back. And not alone. Speculation has also sprung up. Are they working on a new song? Is this part of secret documentation like Shadow Light? Or are they just trying to be two ordinary human beings, not an icon, not a legend, just companions who want to share the silence that once saved them? No one knows for sure, but for the army, this video is more than enough. In a world that always demands an explanation, the silent presence of these two people on the shores of a quiet lake speaks the most. Comments flooded various platforms. It's not about those records. It's about them reconciling. The two most radiant people sitting in the quietest place, and none of them felt the need to explain why. If they never released any songs from Switzerland, I would still be grateful, because I know there they found pieces of themselves back. Perhaps the world will never know what really happened on that little pier. Did they finish the song? Are they talking about a wound that used to be too heavy to mention? Or maybe they just shut up, staring at the water. Listen to each other without the need to talk, and that alone is enough, because in the end, not all meetings need documentation. Sometimes, the most valuable thing is what happens without a camera, or is captured by accident. Since the video went viral, the mood of the army community has changed dramatically. Not because of scandals, not because of sensations, but because of the warmth that slowly spreads, infiltrating their most serene hearts. Not a few began to refer to the moment as Silent Switzerland, an unofficial name for an unexpected event, but leaving a mark as deep as an unfinished love song. A few days later, a Korean fanbase account uploaded a series of blurry photos. In one of the photographs, two figures can be seen walking along a small rocky path in the hills near the lake. Both wore heavy jackets and woolen hats. Behind them, the sky looked gloomy. But from a distance, one thing remained clear. They walked side by side. Interestingly, the photos are not from the paparazzi, but from a small innkeeper in the Eiselwald region, who claimed not to know who they were until a guest showed them a viral video that had circulated before. They don't want special facilities. They even help carry their own luggage. One likes to sit on the balcony when the sun goes down, and the other is often seen writing something on a small notebook. Innkeeper, anonymous, but there is one other story that is more thrilling. A local street musician who often played harmonica on the pier confessed that one night when the fog began to fall, two Korean men sat quietly nearby for almost an hour. One of them borrowed his guitar for a while, playing only 3 chords, then nodded slowly and said in slow English, "Sometimes, it's not the song that saves you, it's the silence between two people who finally understand." The musician didn't know who said that until a fan showed him an old BTS photo. "Yes, that's them," he said, smiling slowly. After 5 days, the two were seen leaving the location without the spotlight. No fancy black cars. There is no large staff. Only 2 figures with backpacks and hoodies disappeared among other passengers in a small station when light snow began to fall from the Swiss sky. But one detail that later became a big talk in the fan community. In one of the recordings, Jimin's voice is heard saying to Jungkook, slowly and almost obscured by the wind, "If we start again from here, not as BTS, but as US, you want some?" And Jungkook did not answer with words, he just smiled, then clasped the straps of his backpack tightly and walked one step closer to Jimin. Now, the silent Swiss became a distinctive symbol among the army. The hashtag Shadow and Silence is starting to buzz in private communities, not as a promotional campaign, but as a tribute to 2 hearts who chose to heal not spectacularly, but with sincerity. And maybe it's true as they say. Not every trip needs a stage. Some simply need a lake, an old guitar, and someone who stays next to you, even when you can't talk. The army may not yet know what the true meaning of the trip is. Will there be a song? Will there be documentation? Or maybe all that will remain just a part of their little world? But one thing they now know for sure, Jungkook is still there, not to perform, not to answer public demands, but for each other. And in a world that keeps moving too fast, a story like this feels like a long breath that can finally be taken, a moment that doesn't need to be explained, quite felt, like the wind on a Swiss lake, like the sound of a guitar that is only played to one ear, like 2 best friends who eventually went home to a completely silent place and were finally able to hear each other again. That Swiss lake will probably remain silent. But now, the water has kept one little secret about 2 people named Jungkook and Jimin who never came here to be a star, but rather to rediscover the light among their own shadows. And for the army, it was the most beautiful story that did not need a stage.